So I'm with Jack Comerford from Hoka, and Hoka is a brand that's kind of been on the edge of my awareness for about a year now. We've used them and seen them on our athletes on some of our big ultra events and some of the other events, and it's something a friend of mine used in a sky race recently. So as we saw them as we were walking through the show here, I just wanted to stop and say hello. So cool. Hi Jack.
Hi, you're right.
How you doing?
Good.
So tell us about Hoka. What are Hoka? What do you do?
Cool. So the difference really with our brand compared to kind of anything else really out there is that we're looking at getting twice the amount of cushioning into the shoes, but also really keeping the weight down as well. So most of the time it's twice the cushioning and half the weight that we're looking at in the shoes. Yeah.
So looking around at the products you've got on the shelves here, and we had a bit of a chat earlier, the big thing that sort of strikes you first of all is how thick that sole looks. It looks like to be sort of 25-30 mil thick in places.
Yep.
Doesn't that put your feet up quite high?
So we have kind of different heights depending on what model you go for. Highest up we go is kind of 38 millimeters, which is for some people it's quite a step up. So a lot of the time we start with kind of a 29 millimeter shoe, and then people, once they're used to the brand, will then kind of move up. A lot of people think that with it being a little bit higher that the shoe is kind of slightly less stable, but actually being higher it's also got a wider base as well, so kind of the stability built into the shoe is pretty good. And then also it's a bit deceptive because you're not just sitting on top of that flat piece of cushioning that you can see on the outside of the shoe. You actually sit down within kind of like a racing bucket seat we call active foot frame in the shoe, and again that's just adding to the stability in there as well.
So are the shoes for runners, or are they for everyone? Who's your market? Who are your people that use your gear?
So the company started out with the ultra marathon community. So we're kind of pretty well known with those guys now. And again, it started off with the shoes that were the highest stack that we had, and recently we've been kind of getting lower and lower, and now it's kind of more for the mainstream. I would say we're still kind of geared towards runners, but we also have outdoor products in things like the Tor Ultra Hi in the boots. So we kind of cover a range of people.
Well, you mentioned the Tor Ultra. Can we have a look at a pair of those? If we've got a pair.
That's the Tor Ultra Hi boot. So basically, it's got a running midsole outsole on the shoe, which kind of keeps the weight down. Basically it's a 450 gram walking boot, where usually you're looking at kind of around the 700-800 gram mark. So if you ever get a chance to come and pick one up, I'd always recommend that because nice and light.
Because that's the thing, individual sort of weight savings on each piece of kit don't really sound that much until you add it up over the entire body or your whole kit, and you can save kilos, can't you?
Yeah, exactly.
Particularly for someone like me who, I need to save every kilo I can.
Definitely makes a difference, yeah.
So these, well, we had a good look at these earlier, and to be honest, I think I'm probably going to try and buy a pair. They look perfect for sort of quick mountain ascents and lightweight days when you're not wading through bogs and that kind of thing, but a scamper up Crib Goch or something like that, or the Northridge or Trivan. It looks perfect for that. So. Pretty
much spot on for that. So yeah, definitely the weight of the shoe is kind of the biggest positive for that. And then also we have in our outsole, it's a material we call R-Mat, which is rubber mixed in with the compression molded EVA. So still nice and soft, but actually gives a really nice kind of sticky grip if there is any wet and slippy surfaces that you need to kind of scramble up.
It sounds really interesting. I can't wait to try a pair of these out in the real world.
Perfect.
Thank you very much, Jack.
No worries.
Thanks.